I'm not sure it's gonna take me like an hour. It'll probably be less. So I'll just end the stream whenever I'm finished with it. I already have all the layers. I gave myself the liberty to separate all of them and do the initial treatment for it. So yeah. Right. No, so I can. I'll move on to the first. One of these. All right. So I'll just do like a dark, then light, coloring for each one of the elements, and then I'll just do like atmosphere and then lighting in general. So let's see how it goes. I'm pulling out my ref, which was the coloring that I did last week. I mean, yesterday. And that'll be literally my entire reference for today. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm thinking that for this part, I'll first need to do a little bit of this gradient treatment for it because it's so saturated right now. Maybe a multiply. No, multiply. No, actually, just leave it normal. There. We'll probably need to do one of these parts right here. Some type kind of like a good combo of like local shadows, which would be the same color as the skin, and then some ambient shadows, which would be more bluish, and that'll let me blend the figure with the background. That's the right idea for it. Very depending on execution. It's almost like a cell shading, which is tricky because I also want to have that kind of an atmosphere look to it. Yeah, I think it works. Okay. And I'm thinking I'm gonna do like first dark for all of it, then move on to like color, and then move on to lights afterwards. Just because otherwise it's gonna like overwhelm the entire piece if I just jumped right into finishing one of them and then the other ones. I just want to focus on flatting a little bit more. So all of these are kind of like base colors for it. And yeah, I'll increase saturation later if it works with the composition, with the color script. Okay. So this is a wave, the foreground wave. Let's call it that. Yeah. I was thinking about going with for like a greenish blue for this. Yes, not be too monochrome. But let's see how it looks. Let's see how it looks. Yeah. It's always tricky, like with shapes like this, to kind of try to figure out where the lighting goes exactly and all that shit. So I just kind of like go for composition, readability, and how readable it is if I put this here, you know, and let that kind of guide the entire process. And if it is feasible in terms of like physics and the position of the lighting, then I just if it's not feasible, I'm sorry, I just fix that later. You know, so I keep more working towards final rendering of the piece. Growing giants. Okay. Again, to keep it all very desaturated. And to be honest, I think I might have gone a little bit too far. Yeah, okay. I mean, we'll go back and add more color layers afterwards. Right now, it's all about the darkness, figuring out the shadows, getting the right atmosphere for the shadow. it's also about simplicity, because you want to keep um, the scope small with these kinds of pieces, because otherwise, they will just never get finished. You know, I have to do 100 of these. So simplify it effectively. If there's something here that doesn't really inform the piece too much, I just get rid of it. It's a really cool workflow. It also like informs how I do client work later on. I get faster. And it's really fun also to figure out just how much you can leave out and still sort of make it work, you know. Yeah, this one, let's do this. If you're wondering why I'm putting shadow on all of this, because that's supposed to be underwater. So I'm gonna be coloring on top of that later. Mm. It's important to have like a couple points that are supposed to be like the brightest brights. And really, really not touch those when I'm doing this. So I'm just checking if I've failed at that. But no, I think I nailed it. And just with these, it already looks way more cohesive in color palette. All right, it's cool. Now with him, I might need to do a little bit of flat coloring before doing the other stuff. Just because a lot of his colors don't fit the composition's color palette. So I need to paint on top of them, right? And let's pull the reference from this guy. Don't forget. Yeah. It's like that purple. He has that purple crown thing, right? And golden thingies over here. Maybe a red. Yeah, it works. Right. And I'll be coloring on top of this. Yeah, actually, let me just merge this. Nice. Yeah, it works. Oof, I think that's too extreme. Right. Let's try it again with a little bit lighter. Lighter colors. This is tricky. You kind of want to imagine that the camera looking up at all this. It's really, really tricky. There are parts that are way more obvious than other ones, for sure. Yeah, I think that works. I'll do a lot of atmosphere work afterwards. So that also takes time. Yeah. How much time left? Gee, I have 1 minute left for this. Jesus. Right. Oh, let's see how much time it needs. 18 minutes. Alright, so let's do like 6 minutes more. Then we can take a little break. I'm not really sure if I want to, I don't know, add shadows to the clouds. I'm not sure if it's going to be a good idea. Well, let's try it with and without. And let's see. This looks fine. Yeah, I think it looks fine. And then have all this bullshit. Wait, hold. This needs a little bit of that. No. Okay, cool. And this. Yeah. This will be just like a giant gradient of let's see if I remember. No, it's the other way around, I'm sorry. Like this. Kind of like this. And getting wider like this. All right, let's name this option 1, and let's name this one option 2. So actually, I'm not super sure that's the best course of action for that. What's option 1, option 2, option 1, option 2. This one makes more sense. This one makes a lot more sense. Yeah. Okay. Time to do some colors and then some atmosphere work. All right, I need like 1 second though. I don't know about this. I don't know about the background atmosphere shit. Starting to feel that. Stupid as fuck. About all of this. Yeah, I'll need to do some color on top of that, yes, because it looks so opaque right now. It's not what I'm going for. Wait, 1 second, I'm gonna go get some water. Alright, okay. Let's see. Where we at this? I'm gonna add some base color to him. Which should be overlay maybe. Just some grainy pink. Now to make him look more alive. Thinking that maybe the eyes looking too opaque as well. That's really bad. Here. Here, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's a little bit better. And I wanted to do the red lines. Which I really don't remember. I really don't remember what my plan was for this. Alright, I think that adds a little bit of panache to it. Cool. Now the lights. I want to be careful with this. I want to don't want to disturb too much the way it already looks. It already works, right? I don't want to fuck with that. Yeah. All right. I think we got this one. Just taking care of some smaller mistakes up here. Yeah. Yeah, this one tricky stuff because I need to take care of the white, and that is all they can easily saturate the piece. Yeah, but yeah, you see this turns it into shit real fast. So I need to be careful. Let's see. Yeah, I think that works. I had some reference for this, but I think I'm just gonna wing it. And if it fucks the piece too much, I'll just delete it and start again later. Kind of. Kind of works, but I think I'll need to. I think I'll need to do some coloring behind it. Yeah, I don't like how it goes up with the lines here. Fucks up the entire thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see, let's add some color. And all I need to take the eraser and just do a little bit of work on those so it doesn't saturate the piece too much. This would be all the way. Yeah. I'll do like a lighter greenish. There. And for the white, I'll also okay, that works. That fucking works. Let's keep on. Dude. Some color. Pink. Go back to the plan. I think both of them got like red paint. Nah, sucks. Yeah, this one have look at bone. This is speed bone, and I think the white actually looks good. Yeah. Just a little bit there. Just want to really sell the tribal look. Let's call it pinkish. Yeah. More like a ring light, I'd say. Can easily do without, to be honest. Okay. Let's be color. Also, I'll start with the saturation of the figure itself. I think this is a good stage to sort of no, that's the next stage. I'm sorry, but yeah, I will eventually need to do this too, because otherwise he ruins the composition. But yeah. That's not something I need to do right now, so we're good. And him, I wanted him to have also red. Also red works. Tiny. Actually, not like that. Okay. There. Awesome. Move around waves. Color first. I want to try something crazy here. I want to. I'm not sure if this will work, but I want to keep it like more blue saturation here. No, that's kind of really stupid idea. Let's see. No, that's a bollocks. Really dumb idea. There's the green, it kind of like conveys destruction. Fucking blue is like, yeah, it's chilling. We're just chilling. Not the nice thing we're going for, unfortunately. White. Oh, jeez. It looks like shit. Okay. I think we got it. Look at that. Okay. This guy, I also want to make him like brighter tribal lines. Just because he's so far away. But I'm afraid that he will be lost. Let's see. Okay. I'm thinking that these guys right here have way too much light. Wait, hold up. Here. Yeah, I'll just remove that one. I think it's good. Let's see. Yeah. God damn it, this piece is gigantic. This is the by far the one that has the most scale so far. very labor intensive. Okay. I want to make him shine with red. I'm not sure if that'll look good with the okay, let's pull up the reference. Not this one, not this one, this one. I'll need to saturate in a little more. Yeah, I need to open up the image actually, because otherwise I'll just won't be able to remember what it actually looks like. Let's see. Yeah, he doesn't have any more. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. Oh well. Yeah, I don't think this works. Let me down a little bit. That's better. Sometimes, subtlety. Sometimes it needs to be subtle. Yeah, that's okay. Sometimes subtlety wins. No. Fuck, what am I doing? Yeah, I need to remove a little bit of it. It's a little bit too much. Almost all there. Okay, this is difficult. So I'll remove this. So let's see where the fuck can I actually put in this stuff, because otherwise I'll just have no fucking clue. Okay. That's better. When I'm doing this, I'm thinking a lot about negative space. Like, what does it look like the shadow that I am creating with this? As opposed to what does the light look like, right? The effect of the negative space is more impactful than the other shit. So, well, at least that's the way I see it. I might be wrong. But also, I might be right because I lose my call. All right, so we're at that stage where, okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start merging shit. And now I start putting all of the atmosphere work. How long have we been on this stream? 54 minutes. All right. Not very long. Just a tiny bit more, guys. Almost there. God dang it, I'm such an idiot. Alright, there we go. Let's see. Okay, cool. Put all of these in the folder, duplicate, and now that we have each one of these elements like this, kind of isolated, it's time to start working. Whew. Right, so first things first, there are a couple things that, I mean, first I need to take care of the big things, which is this guy. And this guy. Those are sort of like the bigger issues. And now that's taken care of. Start adding some atmosphere to it. Oh, it's gonna be hard because there's so many layers, and I need to be very careful not to um I need to be very careful not to do this thing where everything in the background looks. Wait, hold up. Let me block all of these layers first. Alright, so this is hard, but I need to be careful not to do this thing where I push this way too hard in the beginning, and then you can't fucking tell what the actual um, painting is. You know, so that happens a lot to some retarded. Yeah, I think that's not too bad. You see what I mean? Jesus. So my idea is to add a little bit of this, but I can easily just ruin everything. And before committing to all of this, I obviously sort of take a look at what it looks with and without all of these atmosphere work, right? Just to make sure that I didn't fuck up the entire thing. Or we have an issue, not to panic. No, we need to panic. But I want to do this thing where we have a little bit of like reflective color from the sea. I totally didn't do that, so I need to do that now. All right, final one. Right, so that's how it looks with all of the atmosphere. And I'm noticing that I might have overdone it in some places. So we'll take care of that. Actually, I think this one works quite perfectly. This one I think I might change for an overlay layer. So I don't want to lose detail on him, but I do want to make him shine a little bit more. Okay, yeah, that works way better. This would be stage 1. This would be stage 2. And now we'll move on to stage 3. And what I'll do now is to sort of just go over it as a general composition and modify the values a little bit. And sort of take care of parts where I might think that there's too much light in it. Let's tone it down a little bit. Here. And I also want to bring more attention to the focal point. So I will do something like this. Now, that's too much. Yeah. We're almost done. Before I add the final details, what I do is export this bitch. And I'll reopen it. To see if there's something that I can do with it that Photoshop would automatically suggest me to do. And I don't really use that as the final product, but I use it as a guide as to what is a good idea to play around with the brightness, contrast, you know. And yeah, let's see. That does look better. And let's play around with colors a little bit. I actually enjoy the greenish nature of it. So it looks very destructive that way. But I think this is a good balance. All right. So, stage one, stage two, stage three. And if you might argue that this looks cleaner, you're totally fucking right. But I just want it to be more cinematic. I think this looks way more cinematic. Looks better with the context of the book. Alright, final thing, I need to do the rain. I don't know if you remember, but this was supposed to be a rain scene. And I was trying to figure out how I was gonna do this. And then it just hit me that I would need to just do the rain manually. That's really stupid, but things really are that stupid. I think it's liberating to know. It is gonna take a long time, guys. Is AI this inefficient with art? Huh? I don't think so. I call that a competitive disadvantage. If you're wondering why I'm upside down for this, it's because technically, if I do the stroke like this, like backwards, the fattest portion of the rain, it's down, right? So if I do it the other way around, it'll mess that logic up. One look is good. Yeah, this is really retarded. I'm sure there's a very smart way to do this. I'm not gonna do that. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Okay. Wait, hold. Wait, what have I done? I didn't need to flip this shit because I did this. That's so dumb. taking way too fucking long. How inefficient do you want to make your uh, illustration work? Answer is yes. Yeah, I think that works. All right, let's sort of the airbrush and dial it down a little bit in some places. I don't want it to like break any silhouette or like the readability of the thing. Yeah, there we go. That's literally it. I will add some polygons to it. Yeah. This just to give like texture to the overall. Doesn't do anything really. Oh, overlay. No, normal. Yeah. Oof. Okay. And now let's merge all these fishes. I don't know if I really need to do this, but just like one extra layer of color diffusion over here. Yeah, I think I needed to do that. All right. That's it. That's literally it. Right. Thank you, everybody. That's finished. That's a wrap up. And yeah, tomorrow again. How do I finish this shit? I never know how to say goodbye. I'm so awkward. I must have autism or something. I cannot say like hello, goodbye. It's like the awkwardest thing ever. Just the is fake. Follow your dreams.